Your blood pressure can look fine and still be telling you a very incomplete story. That is the part many people do not realize until something feels off, or until a doctor starts asking better questions than, "What was your last reading?" A single number on a monitor can give comfort very quickly. It can also give false comfort just as quickly. And when that happens, people start trusting a reading they do not fully understand. I am Dr. Warren Hung, a medical doctor, and this is one of those health issues that sounds simple on the surface but becomes much more serious once you look underneath it. If you appreciate clear, practical health explanations without the confusion, subscribe and stay with me. What makes blood pressure tricky is that most people treat it like a pass or fail test. They look at the readings, see that it is not extremely high, and assume everything is under control. Or they see one normal reading after several high ones and feel relieved right away. But blood pressure does not work like a school grade that gives you a final answer in one glance. It is more like a snapshot taken under very specific conditions, and a snapshot can miss the full picture. Think about it this way. If I take one photograph of the ocean when the water looks calm, that image does not tell me what the waves were doing an hour earlier. It does not tell me what storm is forming farther out. It does not tell me what the tide is doing underneath the surface. Blood pressure works in a similar way. That number is real, but it is still only one moment. What matters is whether that moment matches what your body has been dealing with all day, all week, and over a much longer period of time. This is where many people get misled. They trust the machine, but they do not question the conditions around the number. Were they stressed a few minutes earlier? Had they rushed up the stairs? Had they just finished coffee? Were they talking while the cuff was tightening? Did they sit down long enough before checking it? Was the cuff even the right size? These sound like small details, but they can change the reading enough to make people feel better or worse for the wrong reasons. There is another problem that matters even more. Blood pressure is not a full report on the health of your blood vessels. It is a pressure reading. That sounds obvious, but most people never stop to think about what that means. Pressure is only one part of the story. It does not fully tell you how stiff your arteries have become. It does not fully tell you whether your circulation is under strain in ways that have been building quietly for years. It does not fully tell you whether your blood pressure spikes at certain times of day and then settles down just enough to fool you when you check it. That is why I get concerned when someone says my blood pressure is fine, but they are basing that confidence on one or two readings, taken without any real pattern behind them. I have seen people feel reassured by numbers that look decent on paper, while other warning signs were already starting to develop in the background. Recurring headaches and suffering from poor sleep. Experience unusual fatigue and frequent dizziness. Shortness of breath when walking, swelling in the legs. A heart that is working harder than the person realizes. The body sends quiet signals long before we understand them. And sometimes there are no signals at all. That is what makes this issue so important. High blood pressure and unstable blood pressure do not always announce themselves in a clear way. A person may feel normal, go through daily life, check their numbers now and then, and assume the story is simple. But the body is often more complicated than that. Arteries become less flexible, the heart pushes against more resistance. The kidneys may be under more strain than they should be. None of this shows up in an obvious way right away. This is one reason I want people to stop trusting blood pressure in such a casual way. Respect it, yes. Monitor it, absolutely. But do not reduce it to one reading and call the matter settled. The number matters, but the meaning of the number matters even more. And those are not always the same thing. You also have to remember that blood pressure changes throughout the day. It is not supposed to stay frozen at one exact level. It shifts with posture and stress, activity, hydration, and temperature, pain, meals, sleep, and medication timing. That means a reading can look acceptable in one moment and still fail to reflect what is happening during the hours when your body is under the most strain. This is especially important in older adults because the way blood vessels respond with age can change the entire picture. So before you feel reassured by one decent number, ask yourself a better question. Do you actually know what that reading means in context, or are you just hoping it means everything is okay? That question changes how you look at the monitor. It changes how you talk to your doctor. And it changes what you pay attention to before a problem grows quietly in the background. Because once you understand what blood pressure is really measuring, you start to see why a good reading can still leave out the part that matters most. To really understand blood pressure, you have to separate the number you see from the condition of the system producing that number. That is where many people get confused. The machine gives a reading, and the reading feels precise, so it is easy to assume it tells the whole truth. But blood pressure is only measuring the force of blood pushing against your artery walls at that moment. It is not giving you a full picture of how healthy, flexible, or stressed those blood vessels are. That difference matters more than most people realize. Imagine squeezing water through a garden hose. If the hose is soft and flexible, the water moves through it in one way. If the hose is older, stiffer, and less able to expand, the pressure behaves differently. Your arteries work in a similar way. Healthy arteries have some flexibility. They expand and relax to help handle the flow of blood. But as people age, or as damage builds from years of high blood pressure, inflammation, poor metabolic health, smoking, or other strain, those arteries can become less elastic. When that happens, the number on the monitor may not tell the full story of how hard the system is working underneath. This is one of the hidden issues people miss. They focus on pressure, but not on vessel health. They focus on a reading, but not on the condition of the pipes carrying the blood. And that can create false reassurance. A person may have a reading that does not seem alarming, yet their arteries may already be becoming stiffer. Their heart may be pushing against more resistance than it used to. Their circulation may not be adapting as smoothly as it once did. Over time, that can affect the brain, kidneys, heart, and eyes. Even if the person keeps saying, "My blood pressure is not that bad," that is not a small detail. That is the difference between watching one signal and understanding the whole pattern behind it. There is another layer to this. Blood pressure does not stay the same from morning to night. In many people, it rises sharply in the early hours of the day. This is often called the morning surge. Your body is shifting from sleep into wakefulness. Stress hormones begin to rise. The heart starts working harder, and blood vessels respond to that change. For some people, especially older adults or people with underlying cardiovascular risk, that surge can be more pronounced than they realize. So here is the problem. If someone checks their blood pressure later, after they have settled down, rested, or taken medication, the reading may look much better than what was happening during a riskier period earlier in the day. In other words, the number they trust may not reflect the moment when their body was under the greatest pressure load. That is one reason patterns matter more than isolated readings. Then there is something called white coat hypertension. That is when blood pressure reads higher in a medical setting because the person feels tense, rushed, or nervous. Many people have heard about that, but fewer people know about the opposite problem, which can be even more dangerous in some cases. That is what is known as masked hypertension. This is when blood pressure looks acceptable in the clinic but runs high during normal daily life, especially at home, during work stress, poor sleep, or early in the morning. That means a person can leave an appointment feeling reassured while their real day-to-day pattern is still putting strain on the body. Can you see why I do not like when people place too much trust in one reading? The body does not care whether the misleading number happened in a doctor's office or in your kitchen. What matters is what your blood vessels, heart, and organs are experiencing over time. This is also why symptoms alone are not enough. Some people expect blood pressure problems to announce themselves clearly. They think they will always feel a pounding headache, strong dizziness, chest pressure, or obvious distress. Sometimes those symptoms happen, many times they do not. Blood pressure can be high or unstable while a person feels mostly normal. At the same time, some people feel unwell and assume it must be blood pressure when the real issue may be something else entirely. So the goal is not to guess. The goal is to understand the pattern with proper measurement and proper context. Have you ever checked your blood pressure only when you were already worried about it? That is very common. You're not alone in this. People often measure when they feel stressed, flushed, tired, or anxious, and then they avoid measuring when they feel fine. Others do the opposite. They check only during calm moments and avoid seeing what happens when life is more demanding. Both habits can hide the truth. What gives you a better answer is not one dramatic number, 160/95. It is a pattern collected the right way at the right times, under the right conditions, and interpreted alongside the bigger picture of age, artery health, sleep, medication timing, symptoms, and risk factors. That is the real shift I want you to make. Thank you for watching. Stop asking, "Was my blood pressure good today?" Start asking, "What is my blood pressure pattern showing me, and what might this number be leaving out?" Once you ask that question, you stop treating the monitor like a final judge and start using it like one useful tool inside a much larger story. And when people miss that story, they often end up trusting reading that were never giving them the whole truth in the first place. This is where the problem becomes very practical, because many people are not being misled by blood pressure itself. They're being misled by how they measure it, when they measure it, and what they assume the result means. The reading may be real, but the situation around it can make that reading far less useful than people think. One of the most common mistakes is checking blood pressure too soon after movement. Someone walks across the house, climbs stairs, gets dressed, rushes to the chair, wraps the cuff on, and presses the button right away. Then they stare at the number and react as if it reflects a steady resting state. But it does not. Your heart and blood vessels respond quickly to movement, even light movement. If you do not sit quietly for several minutes first, you may be measuring recovery, not resting blood pressure. Another mistake is talking during the reading. People do this all the time. They answer a question, comment on the machine, speak to a spouse, or start explaining how they feel while the cuff was tightening. That can raise the reading enough to change the result. The same goes for scrolling on the phone, crossing the legs, clenching the hand, sitting without back support, or letting the arm hang too low. These details sound almost too minor to matter, but they do matter, especially when someone is trying to decide whether their blood pressure is truly controlled. Caffeine is another big one. So is nicotine. So is a full bladder. Even emotional stress from reading bad news, arguing with someone, or worrying about the number itself can distort what you are seeing. Then people make it worse by measuring again immediately. Then again, then again, then again, chasing a better number while feeling more tense each time. At that point, the monitor stops being a tool and starts becoming a source of stress. Cuff size matters too, and this is often overlooked. If the cuff is too small, the reading can come out higher than it should. If it does not fit properly, the result may not reflect reality very well. This is one reason home blood pressure readings can vary so much between devices and people. Not all monitors are equal, and not all setups are correct. Then there is the habit of trusting one good reading too much. This is very common. A person sees a number they like and decides that is the real one. They ignore the higher readings from earlier in the week, the fluctuations in the morning, or the pattern that keeps showing up when they are under normal daily stress. In other words, they do not look at the trend. They pick the number that gives them the most comfort and treat it like the final answer. That can be dangerous. A better approach is to measure under similar conditions and look for patterns, not emotional reassurance. Sit quietly first and take a breath. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Rest your arm at heart level. Avoid talking and stay still. Use the bathroom beforehand if needed. Try not to check right after coffee, smoking, exercise, or a stressful moment unless your doctor specifically wants to know what happens under those conditions. And instead of relying on one reading, take 2 or 3 readings about a minute apart and look at the average pattern over time. Timing matters as well. Morning readings can tell you something different from evening readings. That matters because some people look fine later in the day, but run much higher earlier in the morning, when the cardiovascular system is already under a natural hormonal push to wake up and get moving. Others may take medication that lowers readings after a certain point, which means the number they check may reflect the effect of treatment at one moment, rather than the full daily pattern. That is why a single comfortable reading should never become a reason to stop paying attention. Have you ever checked your blood pressure only when you felt calm and in control, but avoided checking it during normal stressful days? Or have you done the opposite and only checked it when you felt worried? Both habits can hide the truth. The goal is not to collect numbers that support your mood. The goal is to understand what your body is doing in real life. And this is where home monitoring can become very useful when done correctly. Not because it replaces medical care, but because it helps show patterns that one office visit may miss. A good home log can help your doctor see whether readings are consistently elevated, whether they spike at certain times, or whether they appear controlled only under selective conditions. So if your blood pressure numbers have been confusing, inconsistent, or strangely reassuring, do not assume the answer is simple. Sometimes the reading is not wrong. Sometimes the method around the reading is what makes it unreliable. And once that happens, the bigger question is no longer what number you got. The bigger question is whether you have been trusting a measurement routine that was never showing you the full truth to begin with. So what should you trust when it comes to blood pressure? Not one reading. Not one calm morning. Not one good number that makes you feel safe for the rest of the week. What you should trust is a pattern gathered the right way, understood in the right context, and connected to the bigger picture of what your heart, arteries, kidneys, and circulation may be dealing with over time. That is the real message here. Blood pressure matters, but it only becomes useful when you stop treating the monitor like a final answer and start treating it like one clue. Real blood pressure control is not just a number that looks nice once in a while. It is consistency. It is knowing what your readings look like across different times of day. It is knowing whether your numbers rise sharply in the morning, stay elevated during normal daily stress, or look controlled only after medication has already taken effect. It is understanding whether the reading matches how your body has been functioning overall, not just what happened in that 1 minute with a cuff on your arm. Pay attention to patterns, symptoms, and risk factors together. For example, if your readings look decent but you are still dealing with headaches, unusual fatigue, shortness of breath, swelling, poor sleep, or episodes of dizziness, that deserves a closer look. It does not automatically mean blood pressure is the cause, but it does mean you should not reassure yourself too quickly. The same is true if you have diabetes, kidney disease, a history of smoking, a strong family history of heart disease, long-standing stress, or signs that your circulation and metabolic health may already be under strain. In those situations, a normal-looking reading can be comforting, but it should not end the conversation. This is also where your questions become more important. Instead of asking only, "Is this number okay?" Ask, "Does this reading fit my overall pattern?" Ask, "Should I be checking at home at different times?" Ask, "Could I be having morning spikes?" Ask, "Does my cuff fit correctly?" Ask, "Would my doctor want to see a log over several days instead of one reading?" Those are better questions because they move you away from blind trust and toward understanding. For some people, ambulatory blood pressure monitoring may be helpful. That is a method where blood pressure is checked repeatedly over a day and night to show a fuller pattern. Not everyone needs that, but in the right situation, it can reveal something a few isolated readings never could. Home blood pressure logs can also be very useful when they are done carefully and shared with a healthcare professional who can interpret them properly. And let me be clear about something important. This is not a reason to panic every time your reading changes. Blood pressure is supposed to change. It responds to life. It responds to sleep, movement, meals, stress, pain, hydration, and medications. The goal is not to force it into one perfect number every second of the day. The goal is to understand whether the overall pattern suggests healthy control or hidden strain. That is a very different mindset. It also helps protect people from 2 bad habits. One is ignoring high readings because they do not feel any symptom. The other is becoming obsessed with every small fluctuation and creating more anxiety around the process. Neither extreme is helpful. You want respect, not fear. Attention, not obsession. Good information, not false reassurance. If there is one thing I want you to remember, it is this. Never trust your blood pressure based only on the number itself. Trust the pattern. Trust proper technique. Trust repeated measurements taken under sensible conditions. Trust the larger medical context. And trust the conversations you have with a qualified healthcare professional when the numbers do not match the rest of the story. Because the thing you need to know is not hidden inside the monitor. It is hidden inside the meaning of the reading. Once you understand that, you start seeing blood pressure in a much smarter way. You stop chasing comfort from one number. You stop ignoring what your body may be hinting at. And you start making decisions based on a fuller, more honest picture. That is how blood pressure should be handled, especially as we get older and the body becomes less forgiving of silent strain that builds over time. If this gave you a clearer way to think about your numbers, subscribe for more plain, practical health explanations. And if you know someone who checks their blood pressure but may be trusting the wrong part of the story, share this with them. It could help them ask better questions before a bigger problem forces the issue.